Congratulations. We're live Facebook,
Good.
live on Instagram,
Insta.
live on Arrive page.
Alright, page, good. Hey everybody, welcome back to FAQ Fridays on Facebook Live, Instagram Live. Today's topic is, actually my name's Ariel, this is my wife Adela, I forgot the intro. Today's topic, here's today's topic, right? And it's an important topic because I think it's something we've all talked about or at least think about, we're just not sure. So today's topic is how much of my current income, what percentage do I need at retirement? So what percentage of my current income do we need at retirement?
Yeah, so that's a big one. I often, sit down with clients and kind of just go over their goals, right? Because that really facilitates whether they need to save a lot, they need to just keep pace with what they're doing, whether they need to start redirecting some funds into a more tax advantage strategy. So again, it's really getting down to the grassroots. What's your lifestyle going to be in retirement?
Do us a favor. While we're on live, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, do us a favor and comment below and say what percentage number is it? 85% of your current income, 90% of your current income, 120% of your current income. Comment below, what do you think that percentage is that you're gonna need for you to retire comfortably when you get there?
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what you guys say.
Yeah. So just the rule of thumb, it's about 90% to 100, because really you got to count for inflation, right? Inflation averages 2 to 3% every year. And so if you're not keeping pace with just the cost of living, you're going to be losing purchasing power. So this is kind of the majority of what people are going to be experiencing, right? Everybody knows Willie E. Coyote.
Wiley,
sorry.
Golly.
Wiley E. Coyote. And so this is basically what's going to happen in retirement. You're going to be on the train tracks and not realize you're going to get to a point where you work, and then because you never sat down with anybody, never really took a look at what different aspects to consider in retirement, you are going to be kind of caught off guard. That train's going to be coming, retirement's going to be coming, and a lot of factors have to be considered when retirement hits. So we want to prepare you for this, right?
So can I say something real quick though? If you look at this picture, it took me a while to figure out what it was. It's actually Wiley E. Coyote looking, and the train is about to run this dude over. Eli, put that in front for us, bro.
So the train is actually retirement, right? There's
So
a lot of different things that take place in retirement.
You're on
that
the
you
track
need to
for
consider.
retirement, and that train is the retirement issue at hand
Right.
that's about to run you over.
Yeah, so let's just talk about Social Security, right? Social Security is an asset for a lot of people. And it was established, 80 years ago. And so in 1983, Ronald Reagan and the House Speaker, Tip O'Neill, passed a law. And it really was to ensure the viability of Social Security. And because it was, it was a potential to be insolvent. And so that's where they passed a law that basically your provisional income could potentially be taxed in retirement. So Social Security, even though you're paying into it, and you think, okay, I'm good at retirement, it's going to be an asset for me, depending on how much you make in the taxable side, can very much well be taxed in retirement. And a lot of people are caught off guard because they're banking on that Social Security as a source of income in retirement. So that is something to really factor in as what your taxable income is going to be. So Ariel was saying your salary, right? That's taxable. You get Social Security you pay into, your federal, your state, if you have pension, if you have union dues, all of that is part of, your planning towards retirement. So you're saving all this amount of money, right? And you have all these benefits of taxable deductions now. So let's talk about that, right? So you have your mortgage interest. You have a home, you get to write off your mortgage interest. Well, what usually happens in retirement? You end up paying off your home, right? Hopefully you pay off your home. And
Well,
so
it depends.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you no longer have the deduction of the interest, right? The other one is too, your children, right? Your children is a deduction that you utilize as a tax credit, usually $2,000 per child. But, you know, hopefully when you hit retirement, they're already grown adults and they're no longer in the home and no longer considered dependent.
Hopefully you don't have 40-year-old kids living with you at retirement.
But they're not a dependent at that age, right?
Can't write them off anyway, so pick them out.
IRS has those rules, right? The other, number 3, is your retirement plan contribution. So you work, and then it's done. You're no longer contributing into your retirement plan, so that's no longer a tax deduction. And then you have your charitable giving, right? So usually you're very giving throughout your working years because you have income coming in and you can have that write-off. Well, usually now in retirement, instead of giving monetary stuff, you actually give your time. And so that's something, you know, again, to consider. So a lot of times you look at, you know, all this stuff that you get to write off through your working years, you know, it could add up $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Well, now you have your income, and you saved into your retirement accounts, and you no longer have those deductions. So now the part that you're gonna be in is a higher tax bracket. And what do we know about taxes?
They're gonna go up.
Typically at an
So
all-time
here's the
low
thing.
now.
What's the antidote, right? What do you got to do? Well, first of all, it's just like your health. You got to know where your health is at before you can decide what needs to be done, what work needs to be done in order for you to get your goals if you want to be healthy, right? Well, guess what? Your retirement has a prognosis as well. And that's where you need what we are calling a retirement snapshot. What this is going to do is we're going to collect some information, but we're going to actually give you a detailed idea or explanation of where you are currently at with your retirement and where do you want to go to and how to get there.
Right.
So just like your physical goals, if you want to hit a certain weight, you know, whatever it is, you got to know where you're currently at and how to have a plan of attack on how to get there. So one of the things you need to get done yesterday is you need to get a retirement snapshot done. This way, you at least aren't the ostrich with your head in the sand, hoping and praying that you're not this guy that's going to eventually look like this guy. That's going to eventually look like this guy at retirement once you get there and you figure out you didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Get a retirement snapshot. This is just going to give you like a retirement checkup. That way, you can attack the problem or see where you're at least where you're at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. So
you got some books there. What are those books for?
I have some
Besides
books
Love
that
is
that I would highly recommend. The Power of Zero. So this really talks about, he actually talks about the coyote on the train tracks, about taxes, because taxes unfortunately are going to be an issue in retirement. Historically, we are at an all-time low, and so being you know, as you're planning for retirement.
Sorry, baby. Go ahead.
As you're planning for retirement, taxes is the #1 thing you should consider. You can save. You know, in this book, he illustrates a couple that had 9 different CDs with $100,000 in them. Well, they're all taxable. And with that taxable income, if you don't have the deductions that I was sharing with you earlier, you're at a higher tax bracket. And then with that said, your Social Security is now taxed 85%.
Yeah, 85%.
85%. So
That's a
depending
big
on
number.
your spouse and your combined income, that provisional income could essentially be taxed. Like I said, you can be blindsided and ran over and paying more in taxes than when you were in your working years. So again, this is a great one. Another one that I highly recommend is Rich Dad Poor Dad. He's the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he wrote this book Prophecy back in 2002, and it's actually pretty awesome to share with you just different things that he predicted about the stock market, because when laws change, you have to be prepared on how it's going to affect you 20, 30 years down the road. So for us in our age, that is definitely something we're looking at, because we don't want to be caught off guard. We want to make sure we're planning now in our working years to prepare ourselves for the future, so that again we're not having to work, you know, 80, 90 years of age. We have a plan in place.
So to answer your question, how much what's the percentage of your current salary are you gonna need when you retire? Depends. It depends on what the quality of life you want to have. It depends on whether your medical's paid for. It depends if you've got other things in place. It depends, man. But people think, I think in their heads, because if you think, I'm just gonna put an easy number out there for you guys. If you make $100,000 a year today and you live a comfortable lifestyle and you're 42 like me, how much do you think you're gonna need to make at 65, which is 23 years from now, with the cost of living going up? How much do you think you're gonna need to make at retirement to maintain the same way you live today?
Yeah.
Right? So your $100,000 a year today is good. $100,000 a year 23 years from now, maybe not so good. So you got to figure out what that is. So the honest answer is it just depends on how you want to live.
Right. Yeah. So the example too, you know, I mean, even though you save all this money, and let's just say you want $100,000, you need after tax $100,000, right, a year. So you call up your advisor and you say, hey, I need $100,000 tax after tax money. Really, what you're gonna end up distributing out of your accounts is $142,000, because you still have to factor in the 6% state tax, your was it 28 or 30% federal tax. So you're actually, you think it's going to be 30%, right? So you would think 130,000 is what you're going to withdraw from your accounts, and it's really 142,000 because of the taxes that you have to pay, so that you can actually net $100,000 clean after tax dollars.
Which makes a good point, because if you have a $500,000, which is a good amount of money, if you have $500,000 in your 401k and you're pulling out 142 grand a year to net 100,000, hey, unless you don't plan on living longer than 3-4 years, you're gonna be out of money.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. So look at what you're currently doing right now today. If you don't have a snapshot, DM us, reach out to us. We'd be happy to send a form to you. You can do it on your own terms, your own, you know, so that you can kind of see where you're at.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we'd love to help you. We'd love to share with you the information that we have so that you're prepared and your retirement looks a little bit more healthier in a sense, and you have a plan in place. So again, like
and do us a favor, keep an eye out for us and take a picture of it and tag us on it. When you see our commercial, either on KGET, CW, or now starting today, Telemundo, we have a Spanish one. We actually have Spanish-speaking agents here, just so you know.
Yeah.
So we help out everybody.
That's right.
So do us a favor. If you see us and you catch one of our commercials, just take a quick boomerang or a quick picture, whatever it is, post it on Facebook or Instagram and tag us on it. We just want to see if we're out there in the pub. Just let you guys know we're here to help you guys. And I'm telling you, man, take advantage of the snapshot, because you do not know if you're good or if you're bad or if you need work or if you don't, unless you know where you're at.
Exactly. So again, till next week, thanks again for jumping on.
Thank you guys. See you guys in a week. Okay, don't post it yet.